Hello everyone, this is Shubham. Welcome to our Cypress tutorial. So in this video, we're going to talk about storing a text of any element into our variable, right? So this is the thing. This is the major thing which we have not discussed till now. And you people must have noticed that in Selenium, it's very easy. You're just gonna go dot get text. That is the method you're gonna use. But in Cypress, it's not that easy. You need to resolve promises. At the last lecture, we have discussed about promises, but I couldn't explain you much what is the promise and what is the exact thing. So I'll tell you, the promise is kind of an object that represents the state of any asynchronous operation that has been performing, and that is basically related to Java script and only in its web application or automation or anything. So I've told you right in last lecture that it represents three states: resolve, reject, and pending. Similarly, with the promise, if you are doing any kind of asynchronous operation in this application or in automation, it will tell you whether it is an resolved state, reject state, or pending state. In short, success or failure. Now you people must be wondering about what is asynchronous operation. So you need to know JavaScript is a single threaded language. Okay. That means only a single task can be performed at a time. It cannot deal in the multi-parallel task. That is where asynchronous things comes to play. Like with an example, if you're trying to launch an URL and after that you need to validate a header, the JavaScript will only focus on URL to get loaded up unless that has been finished. So that might result to your automation script fails because sometimes it takes a lot of time, right? So if you resolve promises and if you implement that promise related thing, then it will tell you that okay, URL has been launched and the state is resolved. That means success. Now you can go ahead and validate your header. So this is what basic example of promises and asynchronous operation. So let's not delay too much. We're gonna take a particular any element, we're gonna take its value, store it into our text and try to assert it. Let's go. What should we validate today? Suppose I'm gonna take this text. Okay. So first you need to go ahead and take this CSS. Right? So what is gonna be CSS? A title, down comma, contact us. It should be right, I guess. Let's check it out. Okay, title contact us is correct, but why it is not taking title? 1 out of 1, correct. Now we're gonna go to our IDE and we'll write that code. cy.get, you know it, right? Then this particular thing, we need to check the focus over there. Then what is the promise resolving keyword which I have told in the last lecture? Obviously then, and while we were working on passing the data from external JSON file, right? In before annotation. Then do this complete as functional syntax, right? The syntax has been passed. Now it will tell you that when this object locator's promise has been resolved, pass the data over here and you can use it. Okay. So now I'm going to create a variable. So in JavaScript, you can create variable in three ways: const, where, and lat. So I'm going to create const, anything. So I'm going to give you text value, and then, yeah. So in Selenium, it was dot get text method, right? You remember? In Cypress, it is nothing but just dot text. Yeah, that's right. It's very simple. And to print anything in detail log, we just need to write cy.log and it will print the value. So where it is gonna store? It's gonna store over here. It will print the value and we'll see. We have saved it. Program started getting execution. It has clicked on women. That is our see. It has printed contact us, right? Exactly right. So it is trying to find locator has reached over here. It has resolved the promise and then it's trying to print in the log. Now what if we wanna assert it? So for assertion, you can use expect dot So see, in the very second or third lecture, I have told you about basic assertion, right? Should have dot length, or should have dot text, or should have dot this. Over here, I'm gonna use again a child related base assertion, which is expect. So in expect, I'm gonna keep a value, the expected value, text value, right? Over here. Then I'm gonna write it should be equal to what? I'm gonna hard code a value, contact us. Exactly. That's the thing. Now we're gonna run this assertion. We're gonna save this program, and automatically it will start getting executed. We're gonna go over there and we'll see whether our assertion is getting passed or not. See, our assertion has also passed. See how beautiful it is to resolve any kind of promises. And again, I'm telling you what is promise. Promise is an object that represents that any operation which you're performing on the application that has resolved or not. So again, if it is not resolved, then it is rejected or pending state, right? So that means you just need to remember there are three states: resolved, reject, pending, and only asynchronous operation it works on. And what is asynchronous operation? That is related to JavaScript thing, because JavaScript is a single-threaded language. So like, what is single-threaded language? Suppose JavaScript is working on launching this URL. So it will work on that only. It will not go to next step and it will start performing any operation. It will only work to that. So to resolve that, we have worked on this asynchronous part and promises thing. Now, suppose I want to fail this assertion. Instead of us contact us, I'm gonna remove you. Let's see what happens. It should fail, right? And it will fail. Don't worry. See, it has failed. It was expecting contact us because it has returned the locator has returned the value as contact us, but we have written contact you, right? So yeah, this is how easy it is. So in today's lecture, what we have learned about the promises basic, and I have told you what is promises. Then we have learned how to take a text and store in a variable. Then what we have learned? We have learned one new way of assertion, expect, right? So if you go to Cypres documentation, you will find you can have a lot of assertions type in Cypress using this expect. See, expect dot name, expect dot two dot not equal, right? Then you have expect dot to be a string. So suppose if you're writing 1 2 3, it should be two integer. Then see, to include, if you're passing an array, where is it? So if you have been passing an array and if you want to check like whether that particular thing includes this particular value or not. So there are a lot of things. You can go to Cypress documentation if you want to learn and see expect 10 to be at least 10. Okay, so these are a lot of assertions with expect. You can find it over here in Cypress documentation. You just need to type in Google search bar expect Cypress and it will show you the level of assertions being provided. So we're not gonna keep our test case as failure. We'll try to run it again with the legal value and let's see. Test case should be passed. Yeah, it is passing the assertion. Test case file, no failure. So yeah, this is pretty much it. So we have been talking about. In the next lecture, I'm gonna come up with some different thing with Cypress, and we'll try to implement page object model and method related stuff in next lecture. Yeah. Till then, thank you so much, everyone.